Morning, dear students. I'm really happy to meet all of you for yet another class of grammar for class 8. So we have been discussing many things over the last few days, and today we are going to have a revision. And the revision is on tenses. To be very frank with you, not all of us are good at tenses. Especially the students who are of the primary section and who are of the middle school category are a bit weak in tenses. In the sense, we know the formulas, but we do not know how to apply it. I always tell students, the application of tenses is more important than learning the formulas or sentences by heart. Rote learning. We call this as rote learning. You learn the formula, memorize it, mug it up, and you mug up a few sentences for examples, and then you think it's all done. I'm sorry to say, it's not complete. So what is the right way of having an understanding or a perfect concept of tenses? What exactly is the right method? How do we go about learning tenses? It is by understanding the usage and also the application. Solving. For example, let us start with present simple today. It's one of the most commonly used tenses. And not only that, it is very simple. But you need to understand the application of this tense. The application, that is the most important thing. So what do you mean by application? The usage of the tense. The correct usage of the tense. For example, first, let us see the uses of the simple present. How is it used? What are the occasions? What are the applications? First of all, habitual action. So what is a habitual action? A habitual action is that kind of an action which you perform every day. It's an everyday basis usage. For example, you get up at 5:30 every day. That's your habit. So that is a habitual action. You do it on daily basis, every day. There is no change in that. So I can say, he gets up, or I give a name, Mohit, Rohit, whoever it is, gets up at 5:30 a.m. every day. So, something you do on daily basis, something which is a habit in you, something which is an action which is part of your daily life is known as a habitual action. You go to school every day at 8 o'clock. That's something you do every day. So, he goes to school at 8 a.m. every day. But you must know the structure. Third person singular. Many students make a mistake in this. I really feel sad when students make silly mistakes. He, she, it. Remember, he, she, it comes under the third person singular category. Third person singular. And what happens? The structure changes a bit. He gets up. But most often, students leave out this S. It's very unfortunate. They make a silly mistake here. He gets up. She gets up. It gets up. So this is a problem area. They are not aware. Why? Because they take it for granted. I get up. You get up. We get up. They get up. But when it comes to third person singular, it gets up. So since we do not have S with the other persons, students take it for granted. Okay, so he, she, it also has the same structure. No, you must be aware of the change here. Being aware of the change is the first step to rectify the mistake. Awareness is required. If you are aware, then mistakes become less. So, I repeat, he, she, it. The verb takes S or ES with it, and we are not to forget this. We should not forget this. He plays. It's not he played. I play. You play. We play. They play. But he, she, it plays. This change has to be kept in mind. Right? So, whatever you do on a daily basis, coming back to where I started, you visit your uncle every Sunday. I visit my uncle every Sunday. Or my father visits. My father visits. Take note of that. My father visits my uncle every Sunday. My grandmother keeps a fast every Tuesday. Keeps a fast. It's not keep a fast. But I keep a fast every Tuesday. Right? So, habitual action, which you do on daily basis or which is part of your routine, you use the present simple. The second one is a character. All of us have a character of our own, an identity of our own. For example, your friend is a very honest student. He never copies in the exam. So, my friend Roshan is an honest student. My friend Roshan is an honest student. Is an honest student. That is a character. He is an honest man. But there is no main verb here. Take notice of that. Only is, and is a helping verb. So, is, and, are, was, were. The be verbs are commonly used in present simple. Look at these be verbs. I have made a note of it. Is, am, are, was, were, and do and have. So he is an honest man. But we are students. He is an honest man. We are students. Why we are? Because we is first person plural, and with first person plural it is are. They are students. They is third person plural, and with third person plural it is are. So keep these changes. The be verbs play a very, very important role as far as the construction of present simple is concerned. So when we use, when you write present simple, when you write present simple tense, or when you make sentences out of this tense, be verbs are to be taken into consideration. You must know. You must know. Okay. So, is and are, they are used in the present simple. Okay. Look at this. He is an honest man. I am a student. Okay, we are in class 9 or we are in class 8, present simple tense. Though there may not be a main verb, you have the helping verb, that is, am, are. Okay, we can also use this have for a simple present tense. For example, my friend has a car. So where is the main verb? There is no main verb, but has plays the role of the main verb. My friend has 2 cars. I have a motorbike. She has a lovely bicycle. Don't pronounce it as bicycle, that's wrong pronunciation. Bicycle is the right pronunciation. So my friend has a bicycle. She has a bicycle. But I have a car. We have a car. So has and have, you must know the difference. Distinguish the difference. See how it is used. Then, if you are familiar with these be verbs, and if you know the occasions, if you know the situations where present simple is used, you will not go wrong anywhere. You will not falter. You will not fumble. You will not make a mistake. Now look at this. This is a very important area where you need to focus on. Passive. Every tense has an active form as well as a passive form, except for 4 tenses. But present simple has a passive form. So we need to be aware of the formula. You see the formula? Object comes first, followed by a helping verb, plus the past participle, by and subject. Look at this. She teaches science well. So what is the she? She is the subject. What is teaches? This is the verb. That is V1. And what is the science? What does she teach? This is the object. Well, of course, it's an adverb. How does she teach? She teaches well. So, look at this once again. She is the subject. Teaches is V1, the first form of the verb. Science is the object. And well is the adverb. Now, how do I convert this into the passive form? That is very important. How do I convert it? Look at this. Science is taught well by her. I go by the formula. I apply the formula. So, dear students, there are formulas for passive form as well as the active form. Present simple can be converted into passive. Present continuous, present perfect. They all can be converted into passive voice. So we are discussing with the present simple. So we need to know how the passive is formed in the present simple. I'll give you one more example. My sister makes beautiful dolls. My sister makes beautiful dolls. So I apply the formula. My sister is the subject, makes is the verb, beautiful dolls is the object. Beautiful is an adjective followed by the noun dolls. So obviously the object comes first. Beautiful dolls. You should not leave out the adjective beautiful. Beautiful dolls. Now dolls is in the plural form are. I cannot use an. Neither can I use is. I have to use are. Because beautiful dolls. Dolls is in the plural form. Beautiful dolls are made. Make, made, made. Now to understand the passive or to construct the passive, you need to be familiar with V1, V2, V3 and V4. Every verb has 4 forms. Every verb has 4 forms. The first form, the second form, the third form and the fourth form. But when it comes to passive voice, we take this into consideration. That is the past participle. Past participle is taken into consideration. Now look at this. My sister makes beautiful dolls. Beautiful dolls is the object. Third form of the verb, remember, make, made, made. So as students of English grammar, you have to learn all the verb forms correctly. If you are not thorough with the verb forms, then you will go wrong. Why do many students make mistakes? Why can't they change a sentence from active to passive? There are many reasons. Many reasons. And one of the reasons is that they do not know the V3, the third form of the verb. So when they are not familiar with the third form of the verb, obviously the verb is written wrongly. So in the passive we use the third form, and if you don't know the third form, you will use either the second form or the first form, and obviously you go wrong. So remember, this is very, very important. V1, V2, V3, V4. Every verb has 4 forms. And if it comes to third person singular, S or ES is added with the main verb. There is a big list. All of you must learn. Learn the verbs. Learn the verbs. Especially students who are in the primary section and in the middle school section. They must know this. Otherwise, they cannot frame sentences. Because all your construction of sentences, they are dependent on this verb. Verb in a language, be it English or Hindi, is very, very important. That is a spine. This is a spine. What is a spine? You know which part of your body is called as a spine. And what is the function of the spine? It makes you stand erect. It makes you walk. It makes you move. It makes you sit properly. All your functions the functions of the body, okay, they are dependent on the spine. That is why when the spine is broken, when the spinal cord is affected, then you can do nothing. You end up in paralysis. You end up in coma. It is the same. It is the same with English grammar. If you have no knowledge about the verbs, you have no spine. In the sense, your language is absent of the spine. It cannot work. Language becomes dead without a verb. And you must have a thorough knowledge of verbs. Mainly this one. That is V1, V2, V3 and V4. So passive. You see, in the passive voice by is used. Science is taught well by her. So without by, there is no passive form. Now, questions. How do you make questions in the present simple? You see, she sings well. She is the subject. Sings is the verb. And well is the adverb. What is an adverb? An adverb qualifies a verb. How a verb is performed. How some actions are performed. Okay. She sings well. Now look at the sentence carefully. I take this out. Sings. And sings has S with that. So I make it into two parts. I split it into two parts. And how do I split it? Does plus sing. This is a very, very important rule. Most of the students do not know. If I ask a student to split the verb dances, he or she wouldn't be able to do it at the very first, at the very start. She wouldn't be, he wouldn't be. Why? Because they do not know the splitting. That's why I always mention, I always tell students to learn the way of splitting verbs. Sings. When there is S, does plus V1, sing. Dances, does plus dance. Goes, does plus go. Walks, does plus walk. Sleeps, does plus sleep. So whenever there is an S, remember there is does. So she sings well. Therefore I split this does plus sing. And this does comes in the beginning. So remember, when there is S with the main verb, the question starts with the helping verb does. That is why I mentioned it here. Having a perfect knowledge about these primary auxiliaries, is, am, are, was, were, do, does, did, has, have, had. Okay? They are all important because they come here. Does she sing well? You put a question mark at the end. She plays chess well. Negative. So how do I use the negative sentence? Not comes. She does not play chess well. She plays football well. She doesn't play football well. She knows English well. She doesn't know English well. Does plus not. Present simple. This is applicable only for present simple. Does plus not. When that person singular is used with a verb, does comes. But look at this sentence. I play chess well. Now here, play. How do you divide? How do you split? Play. Do plus play. Do is already hidden there. And play. So I play chess well. I do not play chess well. Do comes. I goes with do. He plays chess well. He does not play chess well. So when there is S, does plus V1. When there is no S, do plus V1. Now don't add S here. That is another mistake students very often make. No S here because there is no S in the main verb. Sings, does plus sing. But sing, do plus sing. Remember, these parts, these points are very important. So I suggest that you watch this video again. Okay, over and again. Now, B verbs, be familiar with the B verbs. Look here. This is also an important part. Fill in the blanks with the correct forms of verbs. Sometimes you get exercises on your paper in this pattern. Dash, be, you love cheese. Look at this verb be and the sentence starts with a blank in the beginning. So how do I fill in this blank? You is there. Look at the subject. Go for the subject. Do. So it should be a capital D. Sorry. Do you love chess? Why did I use do? Because you is there and you goes with do. He goes with does. Dash he know you. Now you see it is he. Subject changes. So does. Why did I use does? Because be verb is there and does is a part of the be verb and that goes with third person singular, that is he. These are the points, these are the rules that you need to be familiar with. Now look here. He dash an engineer. Here you cannot use do. Neither can you use does because it's not a question. It is a statement. You see, it's a statement. He's an engineer. He is an engineer. So, is is a part of be verbs. You must be careful. Read the sentence before filling in the blank. Many students don't read the sentence. They don't know what the sentence means. They are not able to distinguish whether it is a question or just a statement. With a question, do and does. With statements, no. If it is a third person singular, is. I is an engineer. No. I am an engineer. Why? I goes with am. He goes with is. So you must know the structure. Know the structure. Structure is a spine. Structure is a spine. If the spine is broken, the body is useless. If you do not follow the rules of grammar, your language is dead. So you must be familiar with these things. The last one. We have 2 cars. Now here I have given have. No change. Have is repeated as it is. Why? First person plural. So with first person plural, it is not has but have. It is not has but have. Remember this rule. Okay. Now, there is another topic which we need to discuss, that is the static verbs, but we shall discuss this in another class. For the time being, you watch this video, be familiar with all these structures, be familiar with your helping verbs, make yourself thorough with this and learn the use of do and does. I will be giving you some sentences today and know how to split the verb. When there is S in the main verb, does plus V1. Sings, does plus sing. When there is no S, it is only sing, do plus sing. So these are the important kind of rules that you need to keep in mind. To give you a recap, learn the usage of the present simple. It is used for a habitual action. It is used to describe a character. It is used to talk about a universal truth. And it is also used in headlines of the newspaper. So today we have had a discussion about present simple. Have a thorough idea of this. Keep revising so that you can become perfect in grammar, especially tenses. In another video, we'll have a discussion on present continuous. So, I wish all of you a good stay at home, stay at home, and spend some time with your books. Spend your time usefully. All the best.